Hello, everybody. We're going to do some simple truth, hard lessons. So let me start this off by asking you something. How many times have you said, I just need to make it to the next paycheck? Not next month, not next year, just the next paycheck. That right there is how a lot of people are living right now. And if you've been there long enough, it starts to feel normal. We all feel it. But let me tell you something that most people won't say. That's not living, that's just surviving. So today, I want to talk about how and why so many of us are stuck there, and why it's important and how hard it is to get out of it. So I'm using bullet points over here. We're going to start off with the first one, the cycle of it. All right, so our paycheck comes in normally, and then the bills go out. Our rent, car, food, utilities, and just like that, poof, it's all gone. Maybe there's a little bit left, maybe not. Either way, we are right back where we started, waiting, counting days to your next payday. It's almost like you walked out of an oasis and you're walking into the desert. You know what I'm saying? But hoping that nothing goes wrong. You don't need a flat tire. You don't want to get sick, because if it does, you messed up, right? So for me, because we're living like this, one problem and it all fall apart, and you end up into a cycle, and it just repeats over and over and over. So, we don't really talk about this a lot, but the mental weight of being broke is a full-time job. We're always thinking about money. You'll be at grocery checkout line, you're adding the prices up into your head, because you don't want to get declined at register for going over your bank account. And for every day, it's like you're constantly like, can I afford this? What's in the account? What's coming out next? It gets mentally exhausting. It really does. And after a while, you don't think long term. You're not planning anything. A lot of people start to give up. They're not dreaming no more, And that's because all your focus is just surviving, trying to get to the next paycheck. And that robs you of tomorrow. It really does. You got nothing to look forward to. And you constantly feel like you're fighting. You understand what I'm saying? So, that survival kind of thinking, that's actually what keeps us stuck where we're at, believe it or not. If you step back and you think about it, what throws you off balance, if you actually think about it, it's not really big bills that keeps you broke. It's small stuff, like a subscription there and the one you forgot to cancel. The $4 to $20 gas station trips, that morning coffee, the biscuit. Don't feel like much, but it all adds up. And then when our check is already stretched thin, that small little leaks here and there, that adds up. And it gets us because you're not losing thousands or hundreds at once. But you're losing it slowly, quietly. You don't even notice it. You understand? How do you put it? The hardest thing for us is when you start making a little money, okay? What happens? Well, we all upgrade, we would like to have the latest phone. We want a better car. So if you make 40K and you start making 50K and you're still broke, the problem isn't the check, it's the upgrade. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to do better. The whole I work hard, I deserve this. But if our spending grows with our income, you're still stuck. It's just the same situation, different numbers. And that's how people who make more money are still living paycheck to paycheck. And I looked into that because I was amazed how there's people on YouTube that are making $100K or more and they're still broke. Whereas here I am making under $40K, I'm making it. I ain't got a lot of money, but I'm making it. So I looked into that, and I think it has to do with they never created space. It's like they just raised their own cost of living, if you follow what I'm saying. So, when money's tight, also fear starts making decisions for us. We avoid the risk. We stay at a toxic job that we hate because you can't quit when you ain't got food. You know what I'm saying? No. So you don't have anything, don't want to invest in yourself. Go into a tech school, learn a skill to maybe get a better job so you can make more money. We avoid that. That's too big of a risk. We can't afford to lose. And that fear keeps us in place. But getting ahead, it requires time, patience, and there's some level of risk. You ain't going to get around that. But we're just trying to survive, and there's just no room for it in our minds anyway, So people like to tell you, well, just budget better. It's not that simple. I'm speaking from experience. It ain't that simple. When every dollar is already spent, okay, there's not much left to go around. You see YouTubers and stuff that they have the same kind of channels with financial advice, which, by the way, this is not financial advice, but they say save $10,000, save $500. Now, when you're poor, you ain't got $500 to save. You ain't got $10,000 to save. So, that doesn't help us. You basically end up being tired, stressed, you're working all the time, and that's part of the problems that contribute to us making bad decisions. Now, it's not because we're stupid. We're just exhausted. And if you're in that situation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hard to come home and make meal preps for the whole week, to go to work or to set out and make a budget. When you just finished a 10-hour shift, you're tired. But that's real life. And that also contributes to why cycle it's so hard to break. It ain't got a lot to do with math, some, but not all of it. You got to have energy. It's also a mindset, and it's our habits. That's the big one. It's our habits. I like doing that. Like I told you, my energy drinks, that takes out mine. It's a habit. But a part that matters, okay? At some point, something has to change. You ain't gonna change everything, just something, make the effort. Start paying attention, start tracking, start asking, where is your money actually going? Don't guess at it, don't assume. I look at my last 3-day bank statements. I do this every couple months. It can be painful, but you can't fix what you don't see. And getting out of it, it don't happen overnight. It starts small, okay? Cut one expense, delay a purchase, save little. It ain't got to be a lot, just something. And over time, the small things, they start to add up. That's how you create some breathing room. You need that breathing room. And that also helps you break the cycle. Slowly, consistently, with purpose. If you could save 20 a week, then it's a small win, you know. And the small wins make you want to win big. And that's what I do. I try to put back 20 a week, you know, and I'm to the point now that I can actually put a little bit more than 20 back a week. And it wasn't easy. You know, I did without a lot. Man, it sucked. I'll be honest with you. No snake oil here. It sucked. I was tired of being broke. You know, so the truth that a lot of people, they don't like to talk about, they want to avoid it. Get out of it does require discomfort. That's just true. You know, so you have to say no sometimes. You got to wait sometimes. You got to do without sometimes. That ain't any fun. Ask anybody that's going through that. There's no fun. You know, but neither being broke. So the best way to look at it is choose your hardness, okay? Being disciplined is hard, but being broke is hard. You do comfort now and stability later, okay? Choose, you know, because usually you can't get both at the same time, and we all know that, you know. So look, a lot of us live like this, quietly, you know, the old fake it till you make it. I see a lot of people doing that, y'all in them brand new pickup trucks, you know, but you're just trying to get by, and there's no shame in that, you know. But there is a problem if nothing ever changes. Time will keep on moving. Okay, take it from someone where time is going, you know what I'm saying? And if your habits stay the same, so will your situation. So start small, pay attention, make one better decision today than another tomorrow. That's how it begins. You know, that's just the simple truth of it. You know, and that's one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. You know, I'm over 55. Trust me, I've gone without. I've had to suck it up and say no. I just got tired of being broke. You can be poor and not broke. So, you know, you have to think about it. That's all. So, you know, if you have a tip to help others, put it down in the comments. Help each other out. Okay? Like and comment, subscribe. This is Old Game Jack. I'm out.